So how did I come to include so much cello in a punk-inspired album? Well, let me tell you. I was texting Dan Lawonn, who played cello on my first single that I actually ever released. I had him do this long, beautiful, tormented solo before jumping into the song Rising, which you can find out there. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. And he did this extended solo, like I said, and I was, I'm still, learning the business and everything. And I was writing Dan to say, hey, you know what? I should have listed you as a featured artist because he had such a big role in that song. And I said, and I'm sorry, I don't think we're going to have much of a chance to work moving forward, at least in the short term, because I'm all in on a sort of punk album right now. And he writes back and he sends me a link to the album by Cursive called The Ugly Organ. And that album has a bunch of cello in it, and it's used in a more aggressive style. And I said, okay, let's talk about it. And so Dan is on, I lost count of how many tracks he's on, but he's on 3 or 4. Actually, is he on more than that? He's on a lot of tracks, and he's shredding on the cello. And so, there's a song Resegregate that he's on. Yes, that is racist. He's on. And he's also playing, for the last song in the album I have is a more introspective or contemplative piece that's sort of reflecting on how our current times have sort of, for a lot of us, made us think about whether we need to go no contact with somebody, whether we have to think about our boundaries with people because of how divisive everything has become and how part of people's identities the political world has become. So we've lost some of our humanity because our humanity has been taken over by these political identities. And so that song is sort of reflecting on that. He, again, plays a beautiful cello part. But on these other songs, he's really digging in with some aggressive... Maybe I should put some of that in there. Here, let me give a little bit of... here's him soloing on this track. That's Resegregate, and that's a good, interesting example too, because not only is it a punk song, but it's also in Odd Time, which Odd Time is not necessarily punk, but I liked how it felt together there. And then here's a glimpse at some more edgy cello in this other solo section. And then I'll give you a little bit. I have a nice solo section on the last song, which is Jane, where he's playing just a nice kind of heart-wrenching solo. Let's just see that. So Dan is great. He is just a super professional. He's played for all sorts of way more famous people than I am or probably will ever be. And it's just a pleasure to work with people like Dan who really bring my music to life. And I really love working with musicians like Dan because they just elevate the whole thing. And it's also so nice to collaborate with somebody, even from afar. He's in Minneapolis. I'm here in the Madison area. So it's just great to have some reasons to work together.